like to kick every episode off by going around the table, which is where we talk about something new, fun, and noteworthy about our weeks. Patrick, I'm looking at you, buddy.
It's so bright in here. So normally we record at night. Mm-hmm. Right now it's the day.
Thank you.
I just want to throw that out there for our audio listeners. I'm trying to describe the setting. I want you to kind of get the full experience, but you're not going to unless you check us out on YouTube.
Yeah.
So this week, I'd say probably the biggest thing is that I got a screener for Lady Bird. Now, this is a bit pointless as the movie is already in theaters, and you've probably already watched it. However, I have watched it, and
however, I also have watched it.
So this is where we're at right now. I don't know what you want from me, but the idea is that it follows Christine Lady Bird. Christine, aka Lady Bird, and it's her as a senior in high school, and she's transitioning into college and trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life. So
this is the president's wife, right?
Nope. That's
Lady Bird Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I thought that it was. I thought that this was about
this is a biopic.
Seriously, I did, and I think I'm fairly confident Chandra thinks that too, because Chandra said she really badly wants to see this movie.
And she's a really big fan of...
She is a huge fan of like presidential history. Like a big fan of it. She listens to like the presidential podcasts and everything. Like, so I thought that this was about Lady Bird Johnson. Apparently it's not.
Wow. Yep. Yeah, so you haven't seen a trailer.
Totally different movie.
Or a poster. Or really anything about it.
I saw a poster, but the poster doesn't say anything. It's just a picture of her face.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
It's
like... Okay, that's fine. You would have been let down. I can say confidently, no, this is a coming of age film, and I think the genre has also been described as a mumblecore. So it's like a coming of age mumblecore film. This is a new term to me. So let me let you in.
Mumblecore?
Yes. Oh. Luke, do you know the term?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whenever Luke talks. It's like the core of him is just a mumble.
No, it's so there's a certain people that are seen as like mumblecore like style. A lot of the people in like Silicon Valley, like a lot of those actors are associated with mumblecore films.
But what constitutes a mumblecore film?
The idea is that it's almost like not necessarily. It's like it's people talking, having casual, everyday conversation, almost acting like there isn't a movie being produced, or almost acting like there. So like the best
like Aaron Sorkin.
Well, but I'm saying like those still have like a very clear like start of plot and rising action and climax and conclusion. You know what I'm saying? These films are almost like a bit of a slice of life type thing. Like it almost feels like a camera showed up one day and then the camera left. And
but slice of life is already a genre. So
it's like everything that Tommy Wiseau's trying to do. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Wait, how about I just give you like a full definition so that way I don't have to try to explain it poorly.
Because you're presently tearing me apart, Patrick.
Low budget, dialogue over plot, focus on personal relationships. Typically it's around young people.
Like the show that you were watching on Netflix that you guys Friends.
I love Friends.
No,
Friends
you know what I'm
college.
talking about. It's a fairly recent show on Netflix.
Is it called Friends from College?
Yes, that's a mumblecore show.
Are you kidding? It doesn't matter. I said that twice.
When?
We'll have to listen back to the tape to find out, Patrick. There's no way to know for sure at this point.
Just mark it, Luke, and just listen to it. Okay?
I'm not going to listen.
You're going to get a kick out of it.
Everything's doubled in my ears, so that's the problem.
Anyway, okay. Yes. So the film follows her moving from senior in high school to trying to figure out her life and what's next, where she's going to go to college and what she's going to do, and kind of the experiences that you try to have at that point of your life, and also moving from being a child to really being an adult, and having to demand and kind of take that level of independence from her family. But also trying to come to some level of understanding about kind of her role in the family and in her parents' role and what are they actually preparing her for. Or it's a coming of age film. It's a coming of age film, but the thing that I'll say, and I made this comment, I watched it with Spencer, and when I got done, I told him that if someone gave me a pen and paper and said, like, write down your high school experience, like just describe your high school experience, I could not have done as good of a job as the film Lady Bird did. Like, it is so perfectly encapsulates what it feels like at that time, and all the personalities that are around and the conflict that's going on, just what it means to be a high schooler. So I was very impressed by that representation of it. Now, the film itself, again, because it is a coming of age film, but I still kind of see these as like, again, like a camera just picks up one day and then the camera leaves one day, and there's not necessarily like some big thing that's been accomplished. I don't know. So as far as the point of it all, yes, it's highlighting her progression and also her personal growth. But I don't, other than like just showing these emotions and showing these feelings and showing what it's like, I don't know that like I walked away feeling different or like I learned something, or like, I don't know that there were necessarily any takeaways other than it was a really great depiction. Now, the film is hilarious. I mean, I laughed consistently the whole time. The opening scene is one of my favorite opening scenes of any film. Luke, have you seen Lady Bird yet?
No.
And Andrew, you haven't?
Clearly.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously.
I was waiting for it to come out on the History Channel.
The opening scene is one of my favorite opening scenes of any film. I just, they couldn't have handled, it's hilarious. Couldn't have handled it any better. And it really set up, I did a great job of setting up characters
definitely
for the
would
rest
not
of the
have
film.
pegged it for it to be, I mean, given I knew very little about the film, but even based on the poster art, I would not have pegged it to be a comedy.
It is very, very funny.
Okay. Is it a comedy or is it just funny?
You know, it's one of those things of like,
Mumblecore.
Nope.
kids do so many weird, awkward, stupid, funny things, you know? Like, it's hilarious because of all the awkward or uncomfortable or the misunderstandings or... So, like, I is it like slapstick or is it like, are there a bunch of one-liners and stuff like that? No. But it's just hilarious because of how weird and awkward teenagers are. And like the parent-child relationship can be.
Okay.
So yeah, it's I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. I think for me, even though it definitely connected with me as far as the feeling of high school, a lot of the relationship dynamics between the daughter and mother, which is what's focused on primarily, that didn't connect with me. But for Mackenzie, who was watching it with me, I think basically it was like a documentary of her life. Like, I think that she's going to hear that and then she's going to be like, no, that makes it sound like I had a terrible blah, blah, blah. I just know it like hit her very strongly. And so, it does have some pretty emotional parts. So anyway, enjoyed the film. I would absolutely recommend seeing it. I don't know what the point of it is, but I really loved it. Okay. The other thing, I started The Crown. I'm 2 episodes in, and I'm going to report back. But man, it's wow, great show so far. Hey, from what you just said, Andrew, you and Chandra should watch The Crown.
Okay.
It's right up your alley. If you like
political, to be clear, I don't like political stuff. She does.
Tell her to watch the first episode of The Crown.
Okay.
All right, great. Yep. So Andrew, take it.
Okay. So my week has consisted...
He said, hold on.
Are one of you going to talk about this?
Yeah.
All right. So then for our podcast listeners, you'll have to be in suspense until someone talks about this because you don't know what it is. Go ahead, Andrew.
So my week has consisted of a lot of work, just being at work a lot. But I have managed to go see a couple of movies while I was doing that, because I got to I didn't mention this on the podcast, but Patrick, for my birthday, got me a subscription to Movie Pass. And so I have been using Movie Pass to see all of the things. I'm at this point, so maybe I would go see Lady Bird now that I know that it's maybe worth seeing.
You would really like it.
Prior to learning that information, I saw every movie I wanted to see in the theaters until Star Wars comes out this week. So thanks for that. So I saw a couple movies. Luke's going to talk about one of them in his master category, so I'll save that one. But I was able to see, holy crap, what movie did I see?
Three Billboards.
What?
3 Billboards.
Yes, 3 Billboards over Ebbing, Missouri. Holy cow. Have you guys seen that
Ebbing,
movie?
Missouri. Yes, I have.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh. I'm not going to talk about it other than to say
it's dark.
It's dark. It's dark.
But it's hilarious.
Very dark. Yeah.
It's dark.
If you like the movie Burn After Reading, I mean, it's right up the alley of that. I mean, it's totally that kind of brand of humor. Man, I liked it a lot, more than I even thought that I would. I didn't even fully understand exactly how much, like, what the movie was going to be about. Like, they do a good job of kind of keeping you in a little bit of mystery with the trailers. Great movie. I liked it. But other than that, I've been working a lot and doing a lot of stuff gearing up for Christmas, and I think that's pretty much it. I did get something in the mail. I'll talk about one other thing, but I did get something in the mail, but I'm going to talk about it during my Around the Table. Nope, during my master category, because I think it's category worthy. I did play a new game. I played a game called Civilizations. Have you played that, Luke?
No.
Okay, it's a very involved game. But it was pretty good. Like, my friend Austin brought it over. We played it it took about 2.5 hours to play, which is a pretty long run for a game. But it's by Fantasy Flight. You essentially are, it's a placement game where you have this map and everybody has like a starting location where your capital is, and you have to build cities and kind of move your way out. And expand your influence and expand your territory. You encounter barbarians and you have to battle those barbarians. You can battle the other players in the game. You go through trade routes and pick up resources so that you can beat 3 out of, like, there are 6 missions and you have to achieve 3 out of those 6 missions in order to win the game. And it's all of like it starts with like ancient civilization through medieval civilization to modern civilization, essentially. And I was America. I was Teddy Roosevelt. And I think Sumeria was one of the ones that was on the table. One of my opponents Matt was Sumeria. And then I think Austin was Egypt. But it's cool. It worked out. At the end of the game, he asked if I hated it because, well, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into when we first started. Like, Matt and I had never played before, and Austin had played, and he said, hey, I got this new game. Cool. So we started setting it up. I'm like, man, there's a lot of pieces here. He's like, yeah. And then after we were about 30 minutes into the game, he said, yeah, typical gameplay is about 2 hours long. I'm like, what? Like, maybe just tell people that before we start, just so that we have an idea of what we're doing. So at the end, he thought that I hated it. But I said, no, I think I gave it a 6, and I would have probably given it like a 7 or 8 if they had done a better job on the setup, because the setup, I hate it when games don't provide you with, when they just give you a box and everything has to dump into the box.
Yeah.
There's no compartments for anything. There's no whatever. And so most of the, like, you could cut the setup time of the game down in a third, to a third of it if you had like a little tray that came out with all the pieces that you could take out that were in the bank, you know? So anyway, I recommend the game if you're into kind of Euro style placement building games. It's a pretty fun one. The artwork is incredible. I guess the artwork comes directly from, there's a computer version of the game.
Yeah.
So the artwork comes directly from that. So the artwork is great. So I would say, and even some of the pieces are great. I think while we were sitting there, I had a couple of ideas, and we had a couple of ideas as a table that could make the pieces a little bit better, make the gameplay experience just a little bit better. but it's only $40, he said. So for $40, that's a pretty low level of entry for this kind of game. So pick it up if that's what you're into. Everything else I'll save till my master category. So Luke, why don't you take us to the end of Around Town?
Okay. Yeah, I'll start out with the thing that we all got. Timothy Anderson Art hooked us all up with some stuff. He sent us pins. Man, this
Swagalicious.
It's so good. Like his logo pin is so detailed, but great. Like it doesn't seem busy, but there's so much going on. And then tons of stickers. All his stickers are fun ideas. And then this Argonath National Park. Man, I love that. It's a really fun idea. So thanks, Timothy.
He also sent me. So he sent me those pins, like his logo pin, back when I bought the Roger Rabbit right there. That's Tim's right there.
Yep.
So he had already sent me those. So instead, what he sent me was last year we had the opportunity to go to Disneyland on Mickey Mouse's birthday, and I got this pin. just out of reach, apparently. I got this happy birthday Mickey pin from Disney, and I wasn't there this year. I guess not obviously, but I wasn't there this year. And he got one, and he sent one to me. So I have one from last year and for this year. I know, it's nice. But Mickey and I share 24-hour difference between birthdays, and so anyway, Tim is a cool guy.
His overshadows yours a little bit.
Slightly.
Do you think one day your birthday will be more important than Mickey's?
Yeah. Nope. I was gonna make a joke, and I'm like, nah. There's not. Nope. Not even.
Not even to those I love.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that was awesome. That was a surprise present. That was really cool of Tim. The other thing, I've just been playing Risk Legacy. Like, the game has totally exploded. So much like every other Legacy game, things happen, rules change. It's a completely different game. We're like 4 sessions in because we're playing 2 games per night. We already have 2 new factions that have shown up that have new mechanics. The board is just havoc. I love it. It's really fun. It's a totally new take on Risk, and it's really good. Other than that, man, I watched Godless on Netflix. It's a 6-episode miniseries. It's really good.
It looks good.
I really liked it. It had really not many people I recognized. There was the girl who was the doctor in Walking Dead. I can't remember exactly how she died. What's that?
The blonde girl.
Yes.
She got shot in the eye with an arrow.
What?
She got shot in the eye with an arrow. If you're talking about the doctor. Yep.
Was she the love interest of Rick?
You're talking like early seasons.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the one in Alexandria.
Patrick hates. Yeah, she wasn't a love interest. She was a lesbian.
Right. That's who I'm talking about.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she got shot in the eye with an arrow.
She's in it. Anyway, she's in Godless.
Listen,
that's the only person I recognize.
Here's what's more important. Jeff Daniels is in it.
Well, and Jeff Daniels. That's what I was.
Yeah, but listen, we needed to first establish the lesbian doctor who got shot in the eye. That obviously is more important, Patrick. Everyone knows Jeff Daniels.
Anyway.
Luke just said I didn't recognize anyone else in it.
Well, it's because he has a beard.
I was just going to say,
Luke has a beard?
and Jeff Daniels. I had forgotten until just now. Anyway, it's really good. It's a very good Western. If you like Westerns, it's good. It's a fun idea. Totally different than what I was expecting. But
Were you expecting like a musical?
No, I just thought it would be more kitschy and more expected, but it wasn't.
What's the time period? Is it like Civil War time period?
It's Gold Rush.
Yeah,
Gold Rush.
It's a Western.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I know that. I mean, like
It's a Western.
Okay.
So it's after the Civil War.
I don't know it's a Western. I know it is set in the West.
It's after the Civil War. So it has references to like Buffalo Soldiers and serving in the Civil War. But it takes place in a mining town.
Got it.
But man, it's really good.
Speaking of which, are you guys so excited? We haven't mentioned this. This week we're gonna be together.
Yeah.
We're going to Chattanooga.
Oh, we'll get to play a board game.
And I'm bringing Claims of Gold with me, and we're gonna play some mining games. Yeah.
Yeah,
I totally
like
forgot that you had Claims of Gold.
Yep.
I didn't.
Oh. Speaking of, they only have 3 days to go. There's only 3 days to go on Claims of Gold, so if you haven't backed it, get on it already.
Get on it. On it. Hey, also, I'm going to look it up right now. There's another game I backed on Kickstarter that I will talk about.
You ever get something in your eye and it's there and you need it out, but then you're on camera?
Just do it.
Just get it.
I've been trying to do it like really nonchalantly for the last 4 minutes, and it's not happening.
Okay.
What do you think it is?
So I'm going to talk about. There's another game. 3 days left. It's called Human Era.
Luke doesn't care. Oh yeah, that game looks cool.
Yeah, it's the same people that made Dragoon. If you've ever heard of that game.
Have you played Dragoon?
Yeah.
Is it good? Because I want it.
It's really good.
It looks great.
It's really good.
Okay.
Same people that made it. No, I don't have it.
You should bring it with you.
I don't have it.
Get it and then bring it with you.
I don't have it. I'll be bringing some other games, but I will save that for another podcast.
Wait, which other podcast are you doing?
Don't worry about it. You'll find out about that later, too. It's going to be a big weekend.
There's going to be a big Wiccan.
That's exactly what I heard.
There's just some guy casting spells. And
That's the premise of my podcast.
And the name of the podcast is Something Wiccan This Way Comes.
That's actually, get that website now because someone's going to hear this and they're going to do.
Some big Wiccan's going to be listening and be like, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, like Patrick said, 3 days on Claims of Gold.
I've been wanting to start a show
Era.
and I haven't been able to figure out a good name for it. That's all I needed.
Now it's my time.
And they're going to get picked up before we are. I guarantee it. They're going to get sponsored.
That's it. I'm done.
Okay. I kind of feel like we shared your around the table a little bit. That's fine. Well, that's it for this episode. You can find us on mofonepodcast.com, where you can find show notes and links to all the stuff that we talked about, or you can look just below here in the video feed. And while you're at it, why don't you like and share this video? That helps us out a ton. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. Head over to iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher if you want to subscribe to the audio channel. It's really just that simple. And if while you're there, you can rate and review the show, that would be super helpful. Doesn't take very much time, takes no money, and it's helpful. That's all. It's helpful. We like that. But you can also support the show by going to Patreon. Go to patreon.com/M-of-1podcast. Throw a couple bucks in the bucket, and it helps us out a lot. Helps us continue to do what we do and get better at what we do. And doesn't everyone want this to get a little bit better? I feel like that's a sentiment we can all get on board with. So head on over to Patreon to do that and become a patron today. You can join the Slack conversation, join hundreds of other people who are in there day in and day out, conversing, encouraging one another, sharing their work. It's a great place. Go to mofonepodcast.com/Slack. Head over to the archive, mofonepodcast.com/archive, and see a ton of people who talked to us. That's what they did. Yeah. And their work is great, and they're great. And so go listen. And that's my pitch for that. But for now, we're going to get out of here. I'm Andrew.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Luke.
Peace out.
Bye.
Hold on to your butts.